Hello there. What is going on, everybody? Today we're talking Armada Rapid Reinforcements 2. So what am I talking about today? We recently got a really cool, awesome surprise update from Atomic Mass Games called Rapid Reinforcements 1, and it had some awesome stuff. If you have been living under a rock and you play Armada, you may not have heard of it, but I will put links at the end of the video to more videos talking about Rapid Reinforcements. It's been featured in some of my battle reports recently, and we've got a new ship for each faction using cross-faction ships, and they've been changed a little bit, so it's not a straight cross-faction ship. It's a different kind of cross-faction ship, kind of showing a ship that may have been gutted or improved or aged a little bit across different eras, which is really, really cool, as you can see here in the art for the Republic's Victory Star Destroyer. Also, we got 3 new squadrons, and it does kind of give the impression that more is coming, primarily because it was called Rapid Reinforcements 1. And that's very, very exciting. It has lit a fire under the Armada community, and everybody is very, very excited to see what is coming next. Although some people are a little worried that this means we'll only get digital product from now on, which, you know, I feel like that's a minority, because, hey, if that means all future expansions are free, then sign me up for it. You know what I'm talking about? As much as I would like some physical product, I am all on board with as much free product as they want to throw at us in addition to that. So I think this is just a very, very good win-win situation for just about everybody right now. So it's really, really fun. If you guys are new here to the channel, we are still giving away a $70 Amazon gift card for a Shadow Collective core set or whatever else you want to use it for. If you're interested in having a shot to win that, you just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. That's generally how pretty much all of my giveaways work. Plus, we are doing a painting contest in the Discord right now. So if you also have more questions about Armada, join the Discord. We have links down in the video description. Check them out. Head over to Crabbok.com. Jump in the Discord, social media links, all that stuff. It's all down there. But I'd love to have you guys join as well. All right, so let's talk a little bit about some of the initial impressions that, a lot of people were wondering, well, what are they going to do next? And I think the first thing I want to talk about is the one missing omission, which was all 4 factions got 1 new ship, but 3 factions got a new squadron. And so it's interesting here. The ships were borrowed across faction from a different faction, and so that was interesting. But the squadrons were an alternate pilot for an existing pilot in faction, and so I thought that was really interesting. With the Hera for the Rebels, and then another Anakin Skywalker for the Republic, and then Darth Vader in a TIE Defender, which is really, really good. But I feel like maybe Rebels got the best one out of all of those, although just only because of the opportunity cost. Like, I still want to run Vader as an officer in my Imperial fleets, so that makes me like less wanting to take the Vader in the TIE Defender, but he's still cool. But a lot of people were asking me, well, where's the Separatist squadron? What happened with the Separatist squadron? I'm not sure. I have guesses, and I'm never one to usually keep guesses to myself. My guess is there was some kind of problem, and so whatever that missing Separatist squadron was, it just didn't make it in time, so it had to get cut. That's not like a glamorous guess. It's just a very realistic sort of guess. Now, it could have been for a number of reasons. Maybe it was licensing, maybe it was balance, maybe it was art. Art can delay stuff like this, especially when it's a digital-only expansion. So who knows? But either way, I'm thinking that maybe that missing Separatist squadron will show up in Rapid Reinforcements 2. And so that's what I'm talking about today, some different things I think we might see in Rapid Reinforcements 2. Now, out of all of the droid pilots that we have, the Belbalub is kind of the one that has the non-droid pilots. And I feel like it's pretty easy to just make up more droids, but you might have to get a number that's Lucasfilm approved and things like that. And so while it would be really, really easy to just come up with another number to assign to a droid, I feel like if it was that easy, then we would have had it. So my guess is that they went with a Belbalub, and they went with somebody like Wat Tambor or one of the other named Belbalub pilots that exist already in X-Wing, the miniatures game. They already have approval and lockdown on those guys, and maybe we'll see something like. I feel like this works a little bit better also because I feel like the Belbalub is the worst fighter for the Separatists, and while General Grievous in one is still pretty good, he's also arguably one of the best commanders for the Separatists. He's definitely the cheapest, and he's really the best squadron commander they have. So, it's like, do you really want to run Grievous in a squadron? When you're running, because if you're running Grievous in a squadron, you kind of have to run other squadrons. You can't just run him by himself, otherwise his ability doesn't really work that well. And so, if you're running lots of squadrons, then you want Grievous as your commander. So I feel like the Belbelub's just in a really tough spot right now, and so I feel like it makes the most sense if you're going to follow the formula for Rapid Reinforcements 1, and just kind of do a new pilot using same faction stuff. It would go here. As a lot of people were thinking, and I thought first too, that Jango Fett would have been a really, really cool one to bring over, because you've already got this. You've already got the fire sprays, the slave one in the in the rogues and villains pack, but that wouldn't match the formula, because while the ships certainly borrowed from another faction, the squadrons did not. So that's why my guess is Belbelub may be coming. Now, granted, we might see extra squadrons next time around. Also, we might see squadrons borrowed cross faction as well. It's certainly possible. There's lots of instances where things like that can happen. Arc 170s in the Rebellion, for example. Look at X-Wing and how many things that they have borrowed across factions. Z95s could be everywhere. Lots of freighters and a lot of your the fire sprays, for example. A lot of stuff from rogues and villains can go in multiple factions as well. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for factions to cross. But if we are talking about what's going to stay within faction and just be a new pilot for an existing squadron, I feel like the Belbelub could use it the most and would benefit the most from it, and it would almost feel like a whole new squadron, because I'll be honest with you, I've not once ever flown a Belbelub, and I have zero plans to ever fly a Belbelub. So just because the other stuff is better, and unless we get new commanders that besides Grievous that work for squadrons, then maybe. So that's that. Now, as far as ships, right? Will we see more ships? Like, if Rapid Reinforcements 2 is kind of like a very, very similar, almost like a mirroring of Rapid Reinforcements 1, I was thinking to myself, well, I kind of wanted to see what was already approved for cross-faction stuff with FFG and what they had done. And for example, if we look at the huge ship conversion kit in X-Wing, you'll notice that they gave the CR90, which was a Rebel ship. They also made a pilot card for that to work in the Republic. So, if we're thinking about things that they might not want to reprint, because again, small ships maybe don't sell as much, or maybe they're not as cost effective to print and everything, and there's already so many CR90s out there, I'm not sure if people would buy another CR90 expansion. I think the CR90 is definitely a likely candidate for something to come over into the Republic. They did have some. It would be tricky, though, because you've got your C-70 Charger that is already very, very similar. It's like, are you going to have two ships that are identical at that point? I feel like you could still do it because it is canonical. Bail Organa actually had the same one that we see at the end of Episode 3, so we know the CR-90s existed in the Republic during this time, and I'm sure that they could come up with some clever ways to make it slightly different. Like, maybe it's got less less munitions. Maybe this one is not up armored at all. Maybe it doesn't have turbo laser on the A, or if it's a B, but maybe it doesn't have ion cannon, or maybe it does have an ion cannon. This is the first ion cannon that the Republic gets. It's definitely possible. So you definitely have some options there for the CR90, but I know what a lot of people really want to see, and that's the Architans over for the Republic. It seems like the Republic has the most options on ships that they could borrow from other factions. So it seems a little fair, because the Separatists definitely don't have that. The Separatists really don't have much that they could borrow from other factions at all right now, and that's kind of rough. The Sea Rock was really the only one that was on my list of things that just really make sense to do cross faction right now. And so I feel like you have a really tough time trying to find other things that would go into the Separatists, unless you kind of took some Rebel ships. Like maybe there's some story that they had an assault frigate Mark II or something like that. You might, I don't know. You really kind of grasping at straws, though, if you try to pull the things that we have left. unless of course it's like an undercover ship, like this is a ship, like if it'd have to come with a title or something like that. But I think the Architans would be like the greatest thing to come to the Republic. But at the same time, if they're also planning on, if the same time they're working on this, if they're also planning on putting out new ship expansions, like a new wave, I think it's a safe bet to save the Architans for a reprint, to actually be in a physical, like a Republic Architans box would sell. It really would sell because people want Architans anyway. So if you repackaged this and sold it, it would sell a lot more than a CR90 would. I promise you that. I promise you that. People, as soon as these things come back in stock for the Empire, they're sold out same day, every single time. It doesn't matter because they're so good, and you can, and maybe I've kind of emphasized them a little bit because the Architans is my favorite ship, and when they first came out, I was running like 5 Architan lists, and I still don't think I've ever been beaten running 5 Architans. But 4 Architans I've been beaten, I think, twice, but 5 Architans I don't think I've ever been beaten. Like it's kind of crazy how good they can be, and they've gotten even better with some new Imperial commanders. So this would be really, really an interesting, great expansion to run for Republic, and to actually see it reprinted. Now, as for the Rebels and the Empire, I'm not sure that they really need any more new ships at this point, primarily because they've already got so much, and then the 2 new ones that they just got is great. I feel like a Rapid Reinforcements 2 would be really cool to get focused a little bit more on the Clone Wars and things that they, because they're the 2 factions that are lacking the most. And so I feel like we also might want to see new officers, upgrades, commanders. Anakin Skywalker commander, I would love to see, although I don't know if we're going to see an Anakin Skywalker commander in Rapid Reinforcements, because I feel like he would be really, really well suited for the stealth ship to eventually come out. I'd love to see him because he flew the stealth ship. It always just made perfect sense to me. Like, if you get the stealth ship, that's where Anakin will come in, because that's the ship he belongs on. Because it's the only one the only like capital sized ship that he was ever like in control of. Like, he was like on that one by himself. So like it just, I don't think you could ever find a better fit than the stealth ship with Anakin on there, and I think that would be perfect. But if not, either way, it would still be a really great opportunity to get some new commanders out there. It doesn't have to be Anakin, or they could do Anakin as an officer. I'd like to see more Jedi as officers, and across all the factions. I mean, some new upgrades would be really cool. The last wave of Armada that actually came out had a couple of new upgrades that were not faction specific, and they totally revamped. Like, you can give us four upgrade cards, that are not faction specific, like maybe a support team, defensive retrofit, maybe a new ordnance, and maybe another officer, or maybe even like a support, a fleet support, or a fleet command, or something like that, just to totally change things up. And I think that would be a really, really fun thing to do. So I would hope that Rapid Reinforcements 2 has a spot for upgrade cards, because I can think of a lot of the fun that's been added to the game with just the few upgrade cards that came in the last wave, and how it's like it completely revamped how you would build an ISD2 for salvo and support, and things like that, or a point, or the point defense ion cannons. Oh my gosh, so incredible! It's changed so many builds, and it's definitely made a big mark on the game. And so, because Armada's at such a good spot that it only needs a very, very little, like just a drop of spice to completely reseason the pot, and it's very, very cool. So I love when they do that. So it'd be really fun, and I'd love to see what's next. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, or also jump in the Discord, because I want to keep the discussion going. Do you think we'll see Rapid Reinforcements 2 at Mini Stravaganza? Do you think they'll even talk about Rapid Reinforcements 2, and what their future plans are? I'm really curious. I've got lots of questions, first off, I love Rapid Reinforcements 1. Can't wait for more. Also hope that there's more physical product in the works. Also want to hear more about the OP kit. It's a good time to be an Armada player right now. It's like when we were down for a long time, and now it's very exciting. So I'm sharing that excitement with you guys, but I want to hear what you guys think. Let me know down in the comment section. I will talk to you guys soon. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are amazing and help make this channel possible, so thank you for your continued support, and you guys are all rock stars. I want to just say, guys, I really appreciate all you guys watching. May the Force be with you. live long and prosper. So say we all. Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.